Welcome back. I'm joined by Championship correspondent Pascal Lemaire to preview Saturday's match between Cardiff and Birmingham. Pascal, start with the home side. Into the match off the back of a decent 1-1 draw with Bournemouth last time out.
Obviously, Bournemouth went into that match as league leaders, so it was a really tough game for Cardiff, but they managed to get a point off them, and their home form in the last since in 2015 has been really poor. So to hold Bournemouth in that game was quite impressive. Some say they were very fortunate to do so with the disallowed goal in the second half. I don't know what Simon Moore was doing. Callum Wilson, he stood with his back to him on the edge of the box. He did get him booked if that's what he was trying to do, get the player booked. But Wilson's there. He's not. He just stood there. He's not even trying to affect the play. He's just put himself in a position, and Moore's kicked the ball against him. And if a different referee might have seen it differently, and he could have conceded the goal which lost them the game. So a weird decision for him, but a point's not too bad. Their goal came from Manga, the centre back, he's been really impressed with this season. Wins a lot of headers. He's very strong, and the header for the goal is absolutely rocket of a header. Sort of similar to David Luiz's for PSG against Chelsea last week. Fantastic header. But the Cardiff, they're one of the teams in mid-table. They're sitting there in 13th. They're 14 ahead of the drop zone, but even though they're closer to the playoffs in terms of how many places there are, they're actually 17 behind the playoffs. So it's going to be a mid-table season for them. They're not going to finish anywhere between 10th and say 17th. It'll be somewhere there, a solid enough season considering they came down from the Premier League last season. It's disappointing considering a lot of the players they've had. Obviously Solskjaer, he lost his job. Slade's come in, a more proven manager in the Football League, but it hasn't quite gone well for him. They've got a lot of quality players there, so Slade, he's not going to lose his job because he's guided them away from the bottom three and into mid-table, but it hasn't gone brilliantly, and he'll now have to really sort of improve himself in the summer and at the start of next season, because if it doesn't get much better next season, he'll probably go and they'll go for someone else, because obviously demanding owners want to get back into the top flight. So the season is over for them, and this is a bit of a nothing game really.
Moving to Birmingham, obviously they had a free week with their game against Reading being postponed, so they should be up for it.
Yeah, they should be up for it, of course, but the problem is these two, they're two of the sides in that mid-table race, so there's very little to play for. Birmingham, they're just 2 points behind Cardiff in 15th. They're 13 ahead of the drop zone, 18 behind the playoffs. There's only 1 point separating these two sides. So, like I said, the Reading game postponed because they had their FA Cup replay with Bradford. So, yeah, they'll be a bit fresher than Cardiff. They've had the whole week off, and last time out they drew with Huddersfield at the John Smith Stadium. Never a bad result there. It's always a tough place to go, and it's four games unbeaten now. So, those 4 recent games have really helped them just steer clear of safety. It's the sort of run they needed: 2 wins, 2 draws. It just eradicates any fears of going down, because even though the bottom 3, they've sort of been pulled away a bit, the recent run they've had has helped them just pull away. And both Roa and Slade, the two managers here, they'll already be looking ahead to next season, because it's a mid-table finish this season, nothing more.
Like I said, it's a bit of a nothing game really, but Cardiff will still be keen to win in front of their own fans, that's for certain. Do you think they will?
Definitely, because they haven't had many wins at home this season. I think Cardiff probably start as favourites, because obviously holding Bournemouth's a good result for them, and even though both these sides, the season over, they're both on the holidays, maybe the managers, they'll want to maybe experiment with a few things. I'm not sure what the team selection will be, but it's a tough game to call, but I'll just go with the home side 2-1.
So what's about for a 2-1 Cardiff win?